I think this is interesting because me being a realtor, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are helping people either sell their home to a buyer. So you have to understand.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
All right, guys. Welcome to Wealth Building Monday.
Hi, everyone.
Wealth Building Monday. I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
And we got a good show today.
I'm ready.
How to sell anything.
Anything?
Anything.
So you can sell anything. Okay,
To
so I got
anybody.
this pen right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it writes really smooth.
How to sell a pen. How to sell a
I'm
pen.
just playing. Anything to anybody.
How to sell anything to anybody. Today's show is brought to you by YMA Financial, the business experts with startup and business growth. So if you're trying to start as an entrepreneur or you own a company, you're trying to grow and scale that company, YMA Financial, www.ymafinancial.com, 864-249-1439. Call them. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down in the comment section. Hashtag YMA Nation so your name could go into our monthly cash drawing. Win some free cash, people. The last thing, down in the description, you guys got to make sure you check out Black Caesar, the new single. Check out the new single down in the description. It is doing numbers. It is
Good
doing
job.
numbers. Yeah.
Congratulations.
1 week.
Yeah.
Over 20,000 views already. Hitting it. Guys, how to sell anything to anybody. This is going to be so direct. Every product or service, you got competition. And in today's business environment, like the startup companies really have a challenge with trying to compete against people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how to sell anything to anyone, how to separate your product or your service from what others offer.
Okay.
So there are a few ground rules and strategies that I'm going to help you guys out with. Number one, make it about them. And I'm talking about your buyer, your consumer. Make it about them. Understand the problem that you're solving for them. And then you have to make sure that that concern is being met and that they understand that you're providing something that's going to solve that problem. Make it about them, though, so they feel that, hey, you know what? You smoke. You're trying to quit smoking. I have a patch. And this patch, here's the results from this. Mm-hmm. Make it about them so they understand, like, okay, yeah, he's solving a problem for me because I'm trying to quit smoking. And he's offering a product. And, hey, not only is this product is going to help you, but guess what? The other products, you have to have it on your arm for 4 hours. This product, you know, like, so make it about, like, what do they gain from it? Make sure that they understand, here's a problem. Like, if I'm trying to stop smoking right now, but I don't like the patch, why? If I don't like the patch, why? And then I'm going to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Make it about them. Next, do your homework. Do your research.
R&D.
Yeah, R&D. Before you pitch or try to sell a product or a service, make sure you know your buyer. So just how I was saying, how you got to have it about them, but you got to know your buyer. You have to know, like, what makes them tick. What are their interests? Just how I said, if I smoke and I want to quit smoking, I mean, I don't smoke, but if I did smoke and I wanted to quit smoking, then what challenges do I currently experience? Why do I find it hard?
Can I jump in real quick?
Yep.
Because
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, it's just a credit score, relax.
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
the buyer to be able to attract the buyer to want to buy the home, right?
Right.
As a listing agent.
Right.
As a buyer agent, you have to be knowledgeable and research your market, your local market, or the market that you're trying to find that buyer a house in,
Right.
to be able to really fulfill their need as a buyer and get them to the areas and places that they want to be that's going to fit their life.
Right. And actually, that's good that you said that, because I have that. That's actually
I didn't read his notes, y'all.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
But that's an excellent point, because yes, you do need to understand as an agent the two sides to it. Like, if I'm trying to sell a product, then I need to understand it. Or if I'm going to show houses, I can't just like take someone and show a house and I don't really like know everything. I think that's why maybe so many people fail in the industry, because they think it's that simple that I just go and get a license and then I just go and start to show people houses. Mm-hmm. But once you start to learn, like, hey, you walk someone through a house and say, hey, this is the type of counter that this is, and this normally costs around X amount of dollar per square foot. Now, the last house I showed you didn't have that type of counter. So here's the advantage to this house. And this got hardwood floors, and the type of wood that's on this floor, or the type of tile that's on. Like, when your consumer understands that you are knowledgeable, then they feel more confident, which I'm going to get to that. So I'm going to stop right there.
Okay.
The next thing is build a rapport. And I could use your industry as an example for pretty much everything that I'm going through. I mean, that I'm going to talk about, because you got to build a rapport with your client. If I come to you to buy a house, I'm dependent on your expertise in this industry.
When I was actually going through starting out, and I went to a lot of classes and stuff, one of the team managers or, managing brokers said in the class, when you're taking on a listing, right, which means you're going to help someone list their house to sell,
right?
It's almost like dating, right? You have to first do an introduction. You have to let them know who you are as an agent. You have to find out how they are, what they're looking for, what they're trying to get out of selling their property. And then
hold on. It's almost like dating. Did you say it's almost like dating?
Dating.
So I think I want to buy a house. Can you help me buy a house?
No, but like
somebody that's on the show that's new, go be like, he flirting with her. Maybe you didn't catch the beginning. I'm Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace. He's always flirting with me.
Go ahead.
So you have to, that's building a rapport, right? So you have to have the introductory meeting. Then you may meet again and go over more, come to the house, do a walkthrough of the property, see if anything needs to be done cosmetically or non-cosmetically to get the house to showable. And so it's like a process that you have to go through sometimes before they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to trust you to list my property.
And that's getting to know your prospect.
Right.
Right. And you could do that through like a Q&A. And so it doesn't matter what type of product or service that you're selling. Know your consumer, build a rapport with them, and master that. Once you could master how to read people, like through just a normal conversation, and
I teach that to my agents that come up under my team, how to communicate, and also
people give you signals,
like how to understand what a person really wants and putting them in the position to get what they really want.
Yeah. So, you walk through a house and like, you have to be able to read those signals, and you have to know how to respond to those signals too.
Positively.
Right.
And with products, I think it's a little different because in real estate, you are more 101. So you get that feedback like right then and there. I think for like products, sometimes like surveys and polls and things like that are really, they have so many of those tools like on social media.
Q&A market research. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going through his whole little check sheet.
But
now.
That's what I had because I was seeing the time, so I didn't want to go open up that door. But next, create an ideal buyer profile. What that means is once you understand what to look for in a buyer, it helps you to avoid spending time on someone that's not a good buyer for your product or
Right.
service. It's almost like you could pick and choose. If someone come and sit down and say, "Hey, I want to buy a house," and okay, well, tell me, like, we'll talk about your credit. We're talking about like the interest, the area, all these type of things. And someone was like, "Well, I don't know what my credit is." Oh, that's no problem. We can review your credit and see what needs to be done. And see if now I don't want to get my I don't know. Don't pull my credit. Nah, we don't have to pull your credit. It'll be a soft pull, so it won't even show on your credit. Nah, I don't want y'all to check my credit. That's not going to be an ideal buyer for you. You could tell right then that that's not going to be an ideal consumer for you either. So whatever your buyer, that's buying either your service or product after you spend time going through like, oh, okay, I've understood how to build a rapport. I understood how to communicate. I understood how to read people. I understand how to make the product or service about them.
Mm-hmm.
Then I know I can create the perfect type of individuals as my buyers.
Right.
And I want to spend the majority of my time targeting those type of people.
Right. Right.
Next, adjust to the level of the person. What I mean by that is, again, as you start to learn people and you learn how to communicate, you have to adjust and not speak too high to a person or not speak too low to a person. What I mean by that, I'm going to explain that in detail, is if I'm talking to you about buying a house and I'm telling you about the again, say tile. I say, oh yeah, this type of tile, and I understand that person just don't know anything about tile, and they looking confused. I may be talking on a too high of a level, so I may need to bring it down. If I'm trying to explain to someone about the square footage of their front yard and their backyard, and they just completely confused, like they don't know like the type of roof, like the tiles on the roof, and like, well, I don't know nothing about roof or roof leaks. I need to bring that conversation down. Or if I'm talking too low and someone got experience, then I may need to bring the conversation up. So you have to learn how to match the level of the person. Now, I was just trying to use your industry
Yeah,
as an
and
example.
some people just have an idea of what they want the house to look like. So you just have to determine the look that they want and find that.
A good example is credit repair.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk to someone about credit and you bring up the word FICO and they were like, yeah, I understand my debt to credit. That means that they already got an understanding about credit. So
Right.
you could keep the conversation high. But if you start talking about, well, you got a card that's $800 and that means that the balance on that card is $800, but the credit limit is $1,000. So you start doing the percentage where like that's 80%, and they're like, I don't really understand that. You need to bring the conversation down, right? To match that person. Last, psychologically connect with your consumer, with their emotions. So once you understand the problem that you're solving for that person, people tend to tie emotions to problems. And so when you're trying to solve that problem, connect with that consumer with their emotionally. So, and you have to show concern. That's why when you see people trying to sell something online, when they try to get those, what's the thing? Like they had the little kids in the other places outside of our country. I don't want to be too specific, but they had like little kids and they showing, hey, you know what, for a cup of coffee a day, this $1 a day will help feed this child.
Oh, right.
Right, they are connecting to you emotionally. Mm-hmm. So you saying, man, you know what? Instead of me taking that coffee, or I can afford a coffee and can give $1, right? What's $1 a day? That's $30 a month. And you see the picture of the child on TV looking hungry, emotionally connecting.
I have a really good example.
Analogy or an example? Go ahead, let's hear it.
So I was scrolling on social media. Okay. And you know they'll have the ads come up, and I saw an ad for something that I was like, you know what? That was a really good idea. I'm probably going to get one. But it is a thing that connects between the two headrests in the front seat, and it holds your purse and your phone.
Between the headrests?
Well, it's like a little holder thing. Mm-hmm. So you just set your purse inside of it. So you don't have to put your purse in the back. You still have access to your purse, but you don't have to put your purse next to you. Okay. Like on the center console. Interesting. And when I have everybody in the car and I'm trying to go places, I was like, oh, that's really handy because, you know, for women, if you're traveling alone, you want your purse in reach, right? You don't want it on the passenger seat or in the back floorboard or whatever. Right. So you still have access to it really close.
So how did they connect to you emotionally? How?
Because when I have to have my purse like right next to me, like when I'm driving or trying to do anything in the middle, it gets on my nerves.
So the connection was they're going to take away the frustration that you deal with. I can imagine seeing a commercial like they show like the person all pissed off trying to reach, and then like, hey, let's take away this problem, and then they show the person all happy, like the lady driving. She's like,
he's trying to destroy us.
Let's wrap this up. 3 tips though. 3 tips that's going to help you to sell. I gave you guys all the strategies, but here's the 3 last things that you have to do, and you have to master these things. 1. You have to be assertive. You got to be direct. You got to be confident. So being assertive, being confident, and being knowledgeable. You can't sell something that you can't explain. So be assertive and be confident. And once you become knowledgeable, it's easier to be assertive and confident because I'll use credit repair as an example again. Once you have mastered credit and you understand every facet of credit, to do a consultation with someone is easy. You're confident, but when you first trying to learn credit, like when someone first gets started at master's credit and they trying to like they're going through like the training phase and they first start taking those first few phone calls, you can hear it in their voice. Right. Like if someone asks a question, right, that training phase, but once they like got it mastered down, like they on that phone, they sitting back, just typing, like, yes, sir. Oh, yeah, I can explain that, blah, 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 right? So whatever product or service that you're offering, master it, become above knowledgeable in that product or service, and then it's easier to be assertive and be confident. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today on YMA Nation Podcast, how to sell anything to anybody.
Yes.
Call me, sell me something. I will take you through the test and see if you are ready. Are you assertive? Are you confident? And are you knowledgeable?
I just want to add one quick thing.
Yes.
Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean that you'll be successful at it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So find something that you enjoy too and that you're passionate about, and that will help you in doing all of this. Because you're going to want to learn and research, and you're going to be that devoted to it.
If someone else is doing well in it and you feel that you're going to love it, do it. But if you're just doing it just because it looks like someone makes it look easier, if the challenges start to face you and you're not really, that's not a passion of yours, you'll quit. So, guys, we will see you on Wednesday for Real Estate Wednesday.
Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association. Joe.